The Pebble and the Path, a Zen story on how small things matter in life. In a quiet corner of the mountains, there was a small Zen monastery. The air was fresh, the trees whispered stories, and the birds seemed to sing only for the monks who walked the stone paths in silence. Among these monks was a young disciple named Tammo, who had recently joined the monastery. He was curious, full of questions, and always eager to do big things, to achieve enlightenment quickly, to solve big problems, to make a difference. The Zen master of the monastery was an old man named Master Ryokan. His eyes were calm like a still pond, and his voice was soft but carried the weight of mountains. He had taught many monks before Tammo, but he saw something special in the boy's hunger for greatness and his blindness to the small. One morning, Tammo approached the master. "Master," he said, "I want to understand the deep truths of life. Teach me something big, something powerful that will transform me forever." The master looked at Tammo, smiled gently, and said, "Very well. Meet me tomorrow morning at the garden before sunrise. Wear your walking sandals. We will begin your lesson." Tammo was excited. He could barely sleep that night. He was sure the master would take him into deep meditation or share a secret scroll of ancient teachings. He even dreamed of floating above the ground, enlightened by the morning sun. But when the morning came, Master Ryokan simply handed him a broom. "We will sweep the garden paths today," the master said. Tammo looked confused. "Sweep the garden paths, master." "But I asked for something big," Ryokan didn't reply. He simply started sweeping the stone path with slow, careful strokes. The broom moved with grace, like it was part of him. Leaves gathered in small piles, pebbles rolled into their places, and dust lifted into the light breeze. Tammo, a little disappointed, began sweeping beside him, faster with frustration, trying to get it done quickly. After all, this was not the kind of deep lesson he wanted. After an hour, the master stopped and pointed at the path. "Look closely, Tammo. What do you see?" Tammo looked and said, "The path is clean now." The master smiled. "Do you know what else happened?" Tammo shook his head. The master picked up a small pebble and said, "This pebble was in the middle of the path yesterday. A visitor tripped on it. He didn't fall, but he walked away with a sour mood. Just one pebble changed his whole morning." Tammo raised an eyebrow. "But it's such a small thing." "Ah," the master said, "and that's exactly why it matters. Small things shape our lives more than we think." Over the next few days, Master Ryokan gave Tammo tasks that seemed ordinary. He asked him to refill the water pot every morning. He told him to fold his blanket neatly after waking. He asked him to place the chopsticks perfectly parallel before every meal. Tammo grew impatient. "Master, these are all small tasks. I came here for wisdom, not housekeeping." The master simply smiled and replied, "If you cannot see the sacred in the small, you will never find it in the large." One evening, as the sky turned golden and monks gathered in the main hall, the master asked a question to all. If a single drop of water falls into a bucket every minute, how long before the bucket overflows? The monks gave different answers. One said an hour, another said a day. The master nodded and said, "Yes, but the answer does not matter. What matters is this: the bucket will overflow." That is the power of small things, repeated again and again. He looked at Tammo and continued, "One harsh word repeated daily becomes a wound. One kind gesture repeated daily becomes love. One step taken daily becomes a journey of 1,000 miles. Tammo began to see differently after that day. He noticed how a single smile from an elder monk lifted his mood for hours. He realized that a loose tile on the walkway had caused 2 monks to trip already. He paid attention to how a single forgotten chore made the whole kitchen run late. He started adjusting small things with great care, aligning shoes by the door, tightening the lid on the tea jar, feeding a stray cat near the garden wall. And slowly, without realizing it, he changed. His thoughts became lighter. His heart became calmer. He no longer chased the big lessons. He started learning from everything, even the way the morning mist touched the leaves. One night, weeks later, Master Ryokan called Tamo under the moonlight. "You have grown, Tamo." The young monk bowed. "Because you taught me, Master, but I still don't understand one thing." Ryokan smiled, "Ask." Tamo asked, "How can these tiny acts matter in the grand scale of life? We live. We die. We seek enlightenment. What does a folded blanket or a clean path matter?" The master picked up a bowl of rice and said, "This bowl is filled with hundreds of grains. Would you eat it if even one was rotten?" Tamo understood. Every grain matters. Every moment matters. Every breath is a miracle. And from that day, he no longer saw any task as small. Many years later, Tamo became a teacher himself. And when young monks asked him for big teachings, he smiled like his master once did and said, "Come, let us sweep the garden path together." And so the wisdom continued, not through loud words, but through small acts done with great love. Moral of the story: in life, we often look for big opportunities, big changes, and big rewards. But the truth is, the small things are the big things. The way you speak to someone, the way you treat yourself, the way you handle small responsibilities, the way you show up every day. Each of these is a small stone that builds the temple of your life. So never ignore the little things. They hold the power to shape your future, your happiness, and even your soul. If this story touched your heart, do these 3 small things. Like this video if you believe small things matter. Comment below your favorite part of the story or a small habit that changed your life. Subscribe to our channel Wisdom Woven for more soul-touching Zen stories.